In this Q&A video, we'll be answering the question, why are meter tails only allowed to be 3 meters long? This question relates to the review of the updated BG Luceco consumer unit that we covered in our recent live feed event. The answer to this question is surprisingly complex, but it boils down to a combination of regs in BS 7671 that relate to the emission of overcurrent and fault protection devices, and also direction from local distribution network operators such as Western Power. Bear in mind also that certain DNOs around the country state a maximum length of 2 meters, so watch out for that depending which area you're in. We find in Regulation 434.3 Indent 4 that we can emit a protective device for fault protection at the origin of an installation where the distributor installs one or more devices providing protection against fault current and agrees that such a device affords protection to the part of the installation between the origin and the main distribution point of the installation where further protection against fault current is provided that both of the following conditions are simultaneously fulfilled. A. The wiring is carried out in such a way as to reduce the risk of fault to a minimum, see item 2 of Regulation 434.2.1. B. The wiring is installed in such a manner as to reduce to a minimum the risk of fire or danger to persons. So it's up to the distributor to agree that the fuse in the service head provides sufficient protection to the meter tails. But where do they get the 3 meter value from? Well, the regulation referred to there is in this same section of the regs, but relates to installing protective devices in positions other than where the conductor size changes. And in that regulation, 434.2.1, we find direction that in those circumstances, the conductor shall not exceed 3 meters in length. So the idea is that the longer a cable gets, the higher the likelihood of it receiving or causing damage. So by putting this limit of 3 meters in place, it reduces the chances of this happening. Now, while this figure doesn't appear directly in the regs concerning the emission of devices, it's significant that it appears in regulations of a similar nature, and clearly shows that the authors of BS 7671 consider a maximum length of 3 meters to contribute to minimising the risk of a fault. And in fact, one of the DNOs specifically refers to this regulation in their guidance on meter tail length. Now that's been a very brief skim of this subject, and we've covered this in much more depth, as well as other subjects relating to circuit protection as part of our free CPD module over on the know-how section of eFIXX.co.uk. No doubt there'll be a link somewhere in the description to click, so head over there and take that CPD to keep your knowledge firmly up to date. But as always, we'd like to hear from you on this subject, so please leave any of your thoughts or questions in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching.